Most of us, we forget too soon the things that God had done in the past. Most of us, we forget too soon the things that God has done for us. It's meant to be a memorial. It's not meant to be forgotten. You see, I'll share my story with you, right, to help you understand better what I'm saying. So I went back home during Christmas holidays, to spend time with my family. When I went back home, my parent had just, my mom, because I have a mother. I was brought up by a single mother. So my parent had just moved into this big, amazing house. See, that is the kind of house I only dreamt of. It's the kind of house I only prayed for. I saw other people live in. I only wished for. So, for years, imagine since I was a child till now, it's something that happened just last year. So I'm not talking of, a long time ago. So when I got home, I was amazed at what I saw. It was not just a big house, it was furnished, it was a good decor. The house was well put together. So I was happy, I was excited, I was like, oh wow, look how we have a big fridge, look how we have she have a couch, we have the TV. So I was happy. For the first 30 minutes there, I was excited. I was like, God, thank you so much. It was in a standalone house in a gate. Those are things that you only could see the rich children have. And I would pray for it, I would wish for it, and right there was I standing in something that was once just a dream for me. There was I seated on the couch in my own mother's house. There was I, opening a fridge in my own mother's house. Those things meant a lot to me in that hour. And when I took a bath in my mother's bathroom, in her bedroom, I was like, oh, finally, I don't have to carry a bucket, and walk outside in a yard with many people to go take my bath. I can take my bath in, my own bathroom in my mother's house. I was excited for the first 10 minutes. And after that, I don't know what happened. I can't tell you for sure exactly what happened. But what I know is that, in less than 30 minutes, I realized that my mood had changed. I found myself seated on the floor and I was weeping. You would think they were tears of joy. No, they were not. Why was I weeping? I was murmuring against God. There was I telling God, oh Father, I had just one wish this year. I had just one thing I believed you for this year. But see, the year has come to an end. This is December 25th. And the one thing I prayed for, asked for, you have not given me. And I felt so frustrated in that moment. I'm telling you the truth. Tears rolled down my eyes in that moment, on that place, in that floor. I felt so bad. While I said that, I got mad. I started telling God, why do you do this? You said you should ask, you shall receive. I'm asking you this. Why are you not doing this for me? I dozed off. I slept off, all right? I think that thing happened in less than 10 minutes, within 10 minutes. So I slept off. I had an online prayer, in the next 1 hour. So I just slept off there to regain my strength. When I woke up from sleep, I was preparing my notes for my prayer session. Then I heard the Lord speak to me. The Lord spoke to my heart. He said, this right here is a sign of my faithfulness to you. Where you are seated, that place where you are seated right now, this house where you are in right now, is a sign of my faithfulness to you. When he said that, I was like, when God, I tell people, you cannot tell me you don't know if that's the voice of God or not. Because when God speaks, there is a residue that confirms. There's a way he lifts you. Galatians 5, I think verse 22, he says the fruit of the Spirit is. Jesus speaking says, by their fruits you will know them. There is the fruit that the word of God births, that you know that, oh, this is God. God just spoke, So I felt this calmness, this peace, this conviction beyond reasonable doubt. And the Lord said, you are seated, where you are seated right now is a sign of my faithfulness to you. He said, this was once just a dream. This place you are in right now was just a wish. I mean, it was just a wish. You could only wish for it. You could only dream about it. You know, you could only dream for it. But right now, there you are. You are holding it. Can't you see that this is the sign of my faithfulness? That every other thing you're prayed for will come to pass in due time. I was amazed. I was amazed to know that sometimes God does things in our lives to show us that more will come, to tell us that we can trust Him, you know.